Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are going to be looking at quantum computing.
Ooh, quantum computing.
But don't worry, we're
Yeah.
not going to be getting into crazy physics or anything like that.
No equations.
Yeah, no equations today.
For you.
We're going to be focusing on a company called AmpliTech Group and how they are playing a crucial role in this exciting new field.
Yeah, it's almost like we're peeking behind the curtain and we're seeing how this mind-blowing technology is actually being built.
Exactly. And the source for our deep dive today is a press release from AmpliTech announcing their new cryogenic amplifiers. These are specifically designed for quantum computers.
So this is a chance for us to understand how innovation in cutting-edge technology actually happens.
Absolutely, and all without needing a quantum physics degree.
That's right.
So let's unpack this press release a little bit. AmpliTech's big news is that they've developed these super low-noise amplifiers that function at incredibly cold temperatures.
Yeah.
We're talking 4 Kelvin, which is a mind-boggling, a minuscule 452 degrees Fahrenheit.
Almost absolute zero.
To put that into perspective, that's almost absolute zero.
Yeah.
The lowest temperature theoretically possible.
The coldest you can get.
And you know what's even more impressive?
What's that?
AmpliTech is the only company in the U.S. making these specialized amplifiers.
It's a big deal.
It really does position them as a leader in this rapidly expanding field.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it kind of makes you wonder, though, why are these quantum computers so picky about temperature? Why can't they just work at room temperature like our laptops?
Well, you know how heat can make electronics malfunction?
Mm.
Well, in the quantum world, that sensitivity is magnified 1,000-fold.
Wow.
Even the tiniest bit of heat can disrupt the delicate quantum calculations happening inside these machines.
So I'm imagining, it's almost like building a house of cards in a windstorm.
Right.
One tiny gust and the whole thing collapses.
Exactly.
So are AmpliTech's amplifiers creating this perfectly calm environment for these quantum calculations to happen, shielding them from any disturbances?
Yeah, and to do that, they've developed some truly remarkable technology. Their amplifiers use a special type of transistor that operates with incredibly low noise, even at those ultra-low temperatures.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. But this brings up another question for me. I keep hearing about all these amazing things quantum computers can do, but can you break it down for us in simple terms? What makes them so special compared to the computers we use every day?
Okay, so imagine you're searching for a specific grain of sand on a beach.
Okay.
A regular computer would have to examine each grain, one by one, until it finds the right one.
Right.
A quantum computer, however, can examine all the grains simultaneously using a principle called superposition.
Oh, wow.
It's like having millions of hands searching the beach at the same time.
That's a fantastic analogy. So instead of going through things step by step, quantum computers can tackle multiple possibilities at once.
Exactly.
That's mind-blowing.
And they use another principle called entanglement, which is like linking those millions of hands together.
Oh, wow.
So if one hand finds the grain of sand, all the other hands instantly know about it. This allows them to solve certain types of problems exponentially faster than classical computers.
So we're talking about problems that would take our current computers years, maybe even centuries to solve.
Right.
But quantum computers could potentially crack them in minutes or hours.
You got it. And that's why there's so much excitement surrounding this technology. It has the potential to revolutionize countless fields.
Like what, for example?
Well, for starters, imagine artificial intelligence becoming so advanced that it can create personalized medicine based on your individual DNA. We're talking about treatments tailored specifically to your genetic makeup.
Wow, so no more one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
We're also talking about developing brand new materials with properties we can only dream of today, like super strong but lightweight composites for building things like spacecraft or more efficient solar panels.
It sounds like we're on the verge of a technological revolution.
We very well might be. And AmpliTech, with their low-noise cryogenic amplifiers, is playing a critical role in making all of this possible. They're not just making components, they're building the foundation for this quantum future.
And they're doing it right here in the U.S., which the press release emphasizes.
Right.
It really makes you wonder, what are they working on and how are they using this technology?
That's the exciting part. It suggests that major players across different industries are already recognizing the potential of quantum computing and are investing heavily in its development.
So it's like we're witnessing the early stages of something truly groundbreaking.
It definitely feels that way. And it's not just limited to corporations.
Mm.
Universities and research institutions are also utilizing AmpliTech's technology, pushing the boundaries of scientific exploration.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, the press release also mentions that AmpliTech was recently granted a patent for their cryogenic solution for quantum computing. What does that mean for them exactly?
Essentially, it gives them exclusive rights to their specific design and technology.
Mm.
It's a powerful tool for a company in a cutting-edge field like this, providing them with a significant competitive advantage.
So they've secured their position as a leader in this quantum revolution.
Exactly. And this patent could be a major signal to potential investors that AmpliTech is a company to watch. They're not just riding the wave. They're actively shaping the future of quantum computing.
And what a future it promises to be. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at some of the challenges facing this technology because, let's be honest, it's not all smooth sailing, right?
You're absolutely right. While the potential is enormous, there are still hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
For example, building larger and more stable quantum computers is a major engineering challenge.
Right.
And then there's the issue of developing quantum algorithms that can effectively solve real-world problems.
It sounds like there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely.
But with companies like AmpliTech paving the way as hell, it seems like we're moving in the right direction.
Sure.
Okay, before we move on, I want to make sure we haven't lost anyone with all this talk about quantum this and cryogenic that. Let's take a step back for a moment and address those who might be new to this topic.
Okay.
So for those who are just joining us on this quantum journey, let's recap what we've learned so far.
All right, so we started by talking about AmpliTech Group and their amazing low-noise amplifiers that operate at incredibly cold temperatures. These amplifiers are crucial for quantum computers because they help to minimize any disturbances that could disrupt those delicate quantum calculations.
Right, and we also talked about how quantum computers work, how they use principles like superposition and entanglement to tackle problems in a completely different way than our everyday computers.
Right.
And we touched on some of the potential applications of this technology, everything from personalized medicine to developing new materials.
Yeah.
But we also acknowledged that there are still challenges ahead, like building larger and more stable quantum computers.
For sure, it's a complex and rapidly evolving field, but it's also incredibly exciting. And with companies like AmpliTech leading the charge, the future of quantum computing looks very bright indeed.
Absolutely, and on that note.
Yeah. So we were talking about some of the challenges facing quantum computing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest is scalability. Building quantum computers with enough qubits,
Right.
the building blocks of quantum information to tackle really complex problems.
So it's almost like we're trying to build a supercomputer out of grains of sand.
Exactly.
Each qubit is incredibly sensitive, and keeping them all working together
Right.
is a massive feat of engineering.
Yeah. And that's where companies like AmpliTech come in. Their low-noise amplifiers are essential for ensuring that those qubits can operate with the precision needed for reliable calculations.
So it's like they're laying the groundwork for more powerful and more stable quantum computers.
Precisely. And as the technology advances, we can expect even more innovation from companies like AmpliTech.
Now, you mentioned earlier that there are different types of quantum computers. Can you tell us more about that?
Of course, there are several different approaches to building quantum computers, each with its own advantages and challenges. One of the most promising is superconducting quantum computing,
Okay.
which is the type that companies like Google and IBM are focusing on. These computers use superconductors, materials that conduct electricity with zero resistance to create qubits.
Superconductors, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Didn't we talk about those in our deep dive on maglev trains?
that's right. Superconductors are used in maglev trains to create powerful magnetic fields that levitate the train above the track.
It's fascinating how a technology developed for one application can find a completely different use in another field.
It really is.
So what are some of the other types of quantum computers out there?
Another promising approach is trapped ion quantum computing,
Okay.
which uses ions, atoms that have gained or lost electrons trapped in electromagnetic fields, as qubits. This method has the advantage of creating very stable...
So it's a bit of a trade-off between stability and scalability.
Exactly. And then there are photonic quantum computers,
Okay.
which use particles of light photons as qubits. This approach has the advantage of operating at room temperature.
Oh, wow.
Unlike superconducting and trapped ion quantum computers, which require extremely cold temperatures.
That sounds intriguing. So each type of quantum computer has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Right?
Makes you wonder which approach will ultimately prevail, Or maybe they'll all coexist and find their own niche applications.
It's an exciting time to be following this field. The future of quantum computing is still unfolding,
Yeah.
and there's no telling what amazing discoveries lie ahead.
Speaking of amazing discoveries, let's shift our focus back to AmpliTech for a moment. The press release includes a quote from their CEO, Fawad Maqbool,
Okay.
where he says they're thrilled to be a key enabler in the quantum computing revolution.
Right.
It sounds like they have a pretty clear vision for their role in this emerging field.
It certainly did. They recognize that their technology is essential for building the infrastructure needed for larger and more powerful quantum computers.
And as we discussed earlier, their patent gives them a significant advantage in this competitive landscape.
Exactly. They're not just reacting to the market, they're actively shaping it.
That entrepreneurial spirit is something we've seen time and time again in our deep dives, isn't it?
It is.
It's that drive to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible that really drives technological progress.
Absolutely. And it's that same spirit that led to the development of the transistor, the integrated circuit, and the internet.
Wow.
Each of these breakthroughs was once considered cutting edge, and now they're part of our everyday lives. Who knows, maybe quantum computing will follow a similar trajectory.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling to think about how much technology has advanced in just a few decades.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to explain the internet to someone from the 1950s. They wouldn't even have a frame of reference for it.
It's true. And that's why it's so exciting to be living through this period of rapid technological advancement.
Yeah.
We're witnessing the birth of a new era, and it's impossible to predict where it will lead us.
But it's safe to say that quantum computing has the potential to change the world as we know it.
Absolutely. The possibilities are truly limitless.
And that brings us back to those real-world applications.
Yeah.
We touched on personalized medicine and new materials, but what are some other areas where quantum computing could make a significant impact?
One area that's particularly promising is drug discovery.
Okay.
Quantum computers could be used to simulate the interactions of molecules, which could accelerate the development of new drugs and therapies.
So instead of spending years and billions of dollars on clinical trials, we could potentially use quantum computers to design and test new drugs much more efficiently.
That's the idea, and it could revolutionize the way we treat diseases. Imagine being able to design drugs that target specific cancer cells, leaving healthy cells unharmed.
That would be a game changer for cancer treatment. What are some other applications?
Another area where quantum computing could have a major impact is in materials science. Quantum computers could help us design new materials with properties that we can only dream of today.
Like what kind of properties?
Imagine materials that are super strong, yet incredibly lightweight materials that can conduct electricity, with zero resistance materials that can absorb light and convert it to energy with unprecedented efficiency.
Wow.
The possibilities are endless.
It sounds like quantum computers could usher in a new era of materials that could transform everything from electronics to energy production to transportation.
Exactly, and we're only just beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible.
It's incredibly exciting, but it also makes you wonder about the potential downsides. What about the ethical implications of such powerful technology?
That's a crucial question that we need to be asking ourselves as we develop this technology.
Agree.
For example, as quantum computers become more powerful, they could potentially be used to break the encryption that protects our online data.
Right.
This could have serious consequences for privacy and security.
So while quantum computing offers incredible opportunities, it also presents new challenges that we need to be prepared for.
Absolutely. We need to think carefully about the potential impacts of this technology and develop safeguards to ensure that it's used responsibly.
And speaking of safeguards, I'm curious about the Made in USA aspect that AmpliTech emphasizes in their press release.
Okay.
Is there a strategic advantage to having a domestic manufacturer of this crucial technology?
That's a complex question with no easy answers. On the one hand, having a domestic source for this technology could help to ensure supply chain security and reduce reliance on foreign suppliers.
Especially in a world where geopolitical tensions are rising, it could be seen as a strategic asset in terms of technological independence.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other hand, quantum computing is a global endeavor, and restricting collaboration could slow down progress in the field.
So it's a balancing act between national interests and global collaboration.
Precisely. And finding that balance will be crucial for ensuring that this technology benefits all of humanity.
Well said. And as we move forward, it's important to remember that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill. Right. It's up to us to ensure that quantum computing is used to address the challenges facing our world and to create a better future for all.
I couldn't agree more.
So we've talked about the potential benefits and the challenges of quantum computing.
We have.
It's clear that this technology could reshape the world
Oh, yeah.
in some really profound ways.
Definitely.
And it's exciting to see companies like AmpliTech right there on the front lines.
Yeah, they're really in a unique position.
Yeah.
Not only are they developing this crucial technology, but they're doing it in a way that really highlights American innovation.
Absolutely.
It makes you think about the broader landscape of technological advancement.
It does. And, we've talked about all this stuff, different types of quantum computers and the technical challenges involved.
Right.
But what does this all mean for, you, the listener?
Yeah.
Why should anyone care about quantum computing?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in the, technical details.
Right.
And miss the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
Quantum computing isn't just some abstract scientific concept.
Right.
It has the potential to directly impact your life in countless ways.
So give us some examples. What kind of impact are we talking about?
Okay, so imagine a world where diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer are no longer a threat.
Wow.
Quantum computers could revolutionize drug discovery, leading to personalized treatments tailored to your specific genetic makeup.
So no more one-size-fits-all medicine?
Exactly.
We're talking about treatments that are as unique as you are.
Precisely. And it goes beyond healthcare.
Yeah.
Imagine materials so strong and lightweight that we could build skyscrapers that reach into the clouds or spacecraft that travel to distant planets.
Yeah.
Quantum computers could make those materials a reality.
It sounds like science fiction, but it could be closer than we think.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to stay informed about these developments. Quantum computing is moving fast.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a profound impact on our lives.
So what can our listeners do to stay ahead of the curve?
Well, I'd say stay curious. Read articles, listen to podcasts like this one.
Right.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
The more you understand about quantum computing, the better equipped you'll be to navigate this exciting new world.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of exciting new worlds, the CEO of AmpliTech mentioned something interesting in the press release.
Yeah.
He talked about their technology being a key enabler in the quantum computing revolution.
Right.
What do you think he meant by that?
Well, I think he's recognizing that quantum computing is more than just building powerful computers.
Yeah.
It's about creating an entire ecosystem of technologies and applications that will change the way we live, work, and interact with the world.
So it's not just about the computers themselves, but about the possibilities they unlock.
Exactly. And AmpliTech is playing a vital role in making those possibilities a reality. Their cryogenic amplifiers are like the foundation upon which this entire quantum revolution is being built.
And that made in the USA aspect adds another layer of intrigue, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It highlights the role of American innovation in this global race for quantum supremacy.
For sure.
It makes you wonder what breakthroughs are just around the corner. What will the world look like in 10, 20, 50 years when quantum computing becomes commonplace?
Right.
It's a question that really sparks the imagination.
It does.
Will we have cured diseases that plague us today? Will we have unlocked the secrets of the universe? Will we have created technologies we can't even conceive of yet?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's really hard to say.
But they're questions worth pondering.
They really are, and they remind us that we are living in a time of unprecedented technological advancement.
That's right.
The future is unfolding before our very eyes.
It is.
And it's filled with both challenges and opportunities.
For sure.
And companies like AmpliTech are leading the charge.
Yeah.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible and shaping the world of tomorrow.
It's an exciting time to be alive, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It feels like we're on the cusp of something truly extraordinary. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of quantum computing and AmpliTech's role in it.
Yeah, we hope you found this journey as fascinating and thought-provoking as we did.
And remember, this is just the beginning. The quantum revolution is still in its early stages. There's so much more to come, and we can't wait to see what the future holds.
Yeah.
So stay curious, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to make the next groundbreaking discovery. Until next time, deep divers.